Yo, what's up guys, Tbag here. Now, today's video is going to be about the May update patch, which is the first of monthly patches that we're going to receive for Battlefield 1, which is good news, meaning that Battlefield 1 will have a faster rate of improvement for our liking, which is always good news. And in this video I'm gonna make it short for you guys. I'm gonna go over the most noteworthy features, in my opinion, that came with this patch. So without further ado, let's talk about the vehicles first. The vehicles, several different vehicle variants, has gotten a lot of love from DICE this time. And we're gonna start with the fighter jet. Now, as you may know, the fighter jet has a dogfighter loadout, which pretty much nobody uses for good reason, because it was pretty shit. Now in this patch, as you can see by the screen right now, at the bottom right you can see a little flame icon, meaning it got a secondary weapon to shoot, which is incendiary rounds. Now these rounds don't do much more damage. In fact, they are designed to tear down the wings and tails of other aircraft more efficiently. So this is exclusively obviously for the dogfighter. Maybe more people will use it now. Now the second plane that's got a little bit of love from DICE is the attack plane, and more specifically the bomber killer and the tank hunter variants. For the tank hunter, the nose cannon has a little bit more speed to the projectile and a little bit less drag, so it's easier to shoot moving targets from afar, and the bomber killer has a little bit higher velocity rockets. Other than that, nothing too special. As for the tanks, we've gotten a little bit of a nice upgrade in my opinion. Let's start with the heavy tank first. Previously it had a canister shell for a secondary, and now, as you can see on the screen, it's gotten a flamethrower from the front, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So in close quarters this really can do a lot of damage, and I'm gonna use it a hell of a lot more often from now on. Also, the land ship got a few upgrades for different variants. Firstly, the tank hunter loadout for the land ship has now an additional tank gewehr rifle at the back. Previously it was only in the front, but now you can also engage enemies from the back. So that's pretty cool, as you can see on the screen. And the second upgrade is for the regular mortar loadout. This is the first loadout you unlock for the land ship. Previously it was just a regular airburst mortar. They switched it up to a heavy mortar, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Pretty powerful, as you can see on the screen right now. It can go up to 200 meters. So maybe from now on people will use the land ship more often. Also, the light tank got a few changes. The howitzer loadout has now a HMG secondary instead of an LMG, so that's a little bit more powerful. And the flanker loadout for the light tank has a little bit of increased damage to the projectiles, but a slower reload time, resulting in an overall little bit of a nerf for the flanker loadout. So those were the upgrades for the vehicles. Pretty cool upgrades in my opinion, but now the most exciting news that came with the May update, in my opinion, is in the options menu. First of all, we've gotten a new slider in the advanced gameplay option menu, where we can adjust the amount of screen shake that's happening on screen, you know, when you're in the explosions and stuff. Maximum is, I think, 100, minimum is at 30. So crank that bitch up way down to 30, because less screen shake results in better performance, in my opinion. But do whatever you want. If you want more immersive gameplay, maybe you want to crank it up a little bit, but that's personal preference. So check it out a little bit, see what you like the most. Me personally, I crank it all the way down. And the last, but in my opinion the most exciting news with this update is for the console players out there like myself. Finally, we've gotten custom bottom layout maps for the controller. Previously you could only choose presets like default, veteran, lefty, stuff like that, but now, as you can see right here, if you put it to custom and go to custom button layout, you can actually decide for yourself which button does what action. Now, a quick tip, for example, when you play Rush and you are arming the objective, the default button for planting the bomb on the objective is square. That leaves your thumb off the right analog stick, which means you can't really look around and engage in incoming enemies. Now what I did is relocate the interaction button from square to the down arrow key, meaning I still have my right thumb on the analog stick and I can look around and engage when an enemy is closing in. Again, this is personal preferences. If you don't mind the default settings, leave it just like that, but I suggest you maybe play around a little bit, because another cool feature that came with the custom button layout is this. As you can see, this says map zoom. Now previously you can only display the full map or just the map in the bottom left corner. Now for PC players out there, they had a specific key for changing the scale of your minimap. The console players didn't, but with this new feature, console players finally can change the scale of the minimap, which obviously come in handy when you need to locate enemies at a distance, so you change the scale all the way up to a big scale map, and when you're in close quarter you change it up to a small scale map and you know exactly the pinpoint location of your enemy. This is, in my opinion, a very welcome addition to the game. So like I said guys, play around a little bit, find your personal preferences and see what matches your playstyle. So yeah guys, those were in my opinion the most important changes to the game. Now we also had updates, for example, for the bayonet charge. The bayonet charge got a significant nerf and I know a lot of people were waiting for that, so there you go. Another feature we've been added with is for the operations game mode. Now you can select any operations, which puts you in an operation server without any preferences. Now, and also addition to the operation game mode is at the end of the round, after the 3 battalions or if the attackers won, you change sides, so you switch teams. So if you were defending, at the end of the round you switch to the attacking team, you start all over again and you are attacking. So no need to hop out of the game mode and selecting again a new one. You can just stay in the server and switch sides. So that's pretty cool. And yeah guys, that's about it for the video. These were in my opinion the most noticeably changes that came with the May update. Stay tuned for more updates, obviously coming every month from now on, which is awesome. Like the video if you found it useful, if you learned anything, means a lot. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I see you guys next time.